Okay, thank you very much for coming, that's great. I think most of you know me, but there might be the odd person who doesn't. So I'm Jane Linz, Mrs. Graham, Karen and Simon, and we're going to be giving you some interesting information about autism, I hope so. April is Autism Acceptance Month, so it seemed like a really good opportunity to do a presentation. So thanks very much, Marcus. I know you're there.
I'm here.
For giving me the opportunity. Right, just a very, very quick intro, nothing very much. There are some cards here if folk want to go directly into MK Autism or Talent Unlimited, they're there. The project, Talent Unlimited, started 15 years ago and was very much a creative project. It's developed, now we have the MK Autism arm, which is about information, and it's about having a website and up-to-date, reliable information. So that's where we are now. So Graham and Karen are going to do a duo thing. They're going to start with Karen, and then Graham will intercede sentence by sentence. What it is, I asked 30 adults with autism what they wanted folk to know about autism, right? And we came up with 25 statements, because some people wanted the same thing. So that's what we're going to present. There'll be plenty of chance of questions and answers afterwards, but we'll go through the actual script, and then, you know, it's a free-for-all, and hopefully there's lots of questions and things you want to say, and hopefully I can answer them. I'm not going through the basics of autism. That is now so easily available. You know, you just go online and NAS or through MK Autism, you find plenty of information. So this really is going under that, you know, that's out there, really, you know, drawing some new ideas, hopefully, and questions. So I'm going to actually sit down and let Karen and Graham go through their script.
It is a very wide spectrum. Everyone who is autistic is an individual and has different talents and skills.
It is common for autistic people to also have ADHD, dyslexia, OCD, dyspraxia, and many other non-neurotypical differences, sometimes several.
Most people with autism suffer from anxiety and depression and can often have issues with past trauma, aka PTSD.
Autistic people often have physical health conditions.
Sometimes it is difficult to say what we mean. Words don't come easily.
Friendships can be difficult to establish and maintain.
Saying no is very difficult for us. We are often taken advantage of.
I may need extra help to feel comfortable.
We often need extra time and space on our own to recover.
Autistic people can often have big emotions.
Autistic people can feel oppressed and vulnerable. They find it very hard to integrate into society.
To understand autistic overwhelm.
A calm exterior does not mean a calm interior.
If possible, avoid direct questioning.
Respect the need for routines. Only change if necessary and tell reason why.
Repetition can be comfortable.
Never say you don't look autistic. Autism is often an invisible difference.
It is not true that everyone has a little bit of autism in them.
Give enough time for an autistic person to reply and listen to them.
Written instructions need to be clear.
Red tape and seemingly useless rules labels are very difficult for an autistic person to understand and accept.
Special narrow interests should be valued.
It is still very difficult to get a diagnosis.
Support autistic children and young people to be more resilient.
Do not deny someone is autistic if they tell you they are, but don't jump to diagnose without evidence.
Very much. Lots of food for thought there. And anything jumped out at folk that they want some explanation, or they're surprised by, or just general comment and questions? Yes, Sue.
Is it typical that making a decision is difficult? Do you find making decisions difficult?
Graham.
Yes. I have a 27-year-old autistic son, and for years I thought I was what's called neurotypical. I wasn't autistic. Trying to work out what happens to my son when I'm not here anymore, I realised a couple of years ago that I am autistic and I have ADHD. Now the interesting thing about those is autism likes things to be the same. ADHD likes new things all the time. So I have a conflict inside me that says, don't bother, oh, but I want to. And then ADHD gives you other challenges, like you forget things. You start looking out the window when you're supposed to be doing some work. And autistic people don't have eye contact, which is why I look at your mouth and not your eyes. So yes, you can be challenging to make a decision or to do things. If I have a special interest, my son when he was younger, his special interest was dinosaurs, and you find a lot of people, children have that. He would know every name of every dinosaur, what they looked like, obviously not what they sounded like, but because nobody knows that, but if you asked about doing maths homework, foreign language, if you asked him about dinosaurs, he'd be able to talk for hours.
Yeah. What's the percent of people with autism who have ADHD? It's about 50-60%, isn't it? It's high.
Yes.
Very high. Not necessarily the other way around, but certainly it's really incredibly prevalent. And until 2012, the DM, whatever it is, the manual for psychiatry and psychology, weren't allowed to diagnose both. That's only 14 years ago. Now, yeah, commonly diagnosed with both.
Adult ADHD was not recognised in this country until 2008. It was a childhood condition, not an adult. So if you were diagnosed when you were 13 years old, when you got to be 18, presumably it just disappeared because you weren't allowed to have it as an adult. And it never disappears. You learn to cope. You're born with autism, you're born with ADHD, and you learn to cope. That's what I'm doing now. 68 I was diagnosed for ADHD.
How long did it take to get the diagnosis?
If I knew how I did it, I would tell everybody, because I went to my GP and I was just expecting it to be a very long wait. I was done in 7 weeks. ADHD, 7 weeks.
Yeah.
My autism asked for it at the same time. I'm halfway through a 4-year wait list.
It is.
For Milton Keynes.
Yeah.
So I don't know about childhood diagnosis. If you have a child with ADHD or autism and they have a 1 or 2 year wait list, that could mean they don't have school for 1 to 2 years.